Swallowed Star 485 Equal. Chapter 485 Equal. Translator, Translation Nation Editor, Translation Nation. There were many battle techniques within the golden horned beast's inherited memories. When Luo Feng and Babata were analyzing which was most suitable, it only took a while before the night class was about to begin. Absolute Beginning Region Villa 1136, a silhouette rushed into the sky. This public class speaks about gold and space fusion, it's not bad. Luo Feng swiftly left the villa and headed towards the distant large skyscraper that could almost be deemed a large artwork. At this time, a line of silhouettes were flying towards it and entering. The entire building took up a few hundred kilometers in area. If placed on Earth, it would be an unbelievable construct. Classroom number 2, the size of this room was 80 kilometers long and 60 kilometers wide. Scattered around the back of the room were 1,000 seats, the rest of the space was for the undying teacher to sit cross-legged. Luo Feng. Iko. Luo Feng smiled and waved at a skinny youth in scaled armor. This youth was bald and had bronze skin. He emitted a powerful fierce aura. He was one of the few friends Luo Feng had in the Absolute Beginning region. Following which Luo Feng sat beside that youth. I haven't seen you this past month. Iko smiled. Usually during these gold space fusion and gold classes you'd attend. There's been close to 10 classes this month already and I haven't seen you around at all. I even sent you calls, but it was cut off. I was studying some techniques, I got immersed and forgot to attend. Luo Feng laughed. Iko, Domain Lord level, Absolute Beginning member. As he would attend every gold class, along with the gold and space fusion classes, Luo Feng had met him numerous times and became friends. Immersed in it? Iko blinked. I guess your rewards aren't small then. Luo Feng nodded. Congrats, haha. Iko laughed loudly, following which he said softly, however my brother, I estimate my own rewards too aren't small. Ah. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. You know, I control quite a bit of authority now. Occasionally I would meet some unexpected surprises. Iko's eyes had a sense of anticipation within. I hope this time around, I will succeed. The moment I do. Good for you, you have such authority outside. However, we are still stuck training within. Luo Feng shook his head. Virtual Universe Company, their nurture for the core members had different levels. The top 1,000 of the genius battles were immediately sent to train in Primal Chaos City for 30 years to lock in their foundation. Universe-level core members were to train in the Virtual Universe Companies for secret regions, safely listening to undying lessons, and to train and take on missions. Domain Lord level members would command bodyguard teams, going to a particular universe country to control the territory. According to Luo Feng, that would be akin to going to the border and acting as a governor. This was truly the beginning of interactions with affairs of the universe. It was considered leaving the safety of the Virtual Universe Company, as everything was to be decided on one's own. Sector Lord members were placed in even more dangerous situations. They were going to explore the universe itself, and were even sent to the terrifying external battlefield where the strong were like minced meat sometimes. They were also sent to the even more dangerous universe secret regions. Value your chance. Iko sighed. Luo Feng, you are currently still universe level. You can safely stay under the protection of the Virtual Universe Company to train and take missions within a controlled area. When you reach Domain Lord level and get placed in a universe country, controlling a large territory, That's when your true grueling training begins. That's truly dangerous. Especially at Sector Lord level, where you are not even allowed to bring your guard team. You'll go through many life and death situations then. Luo Feng nodded. Universe level was considered a child that required nurturing. Domain Lord was considered youths who were able to explore outside. Sector Lords were considered adults who were beginning their life or death struggles. If successful, they would reach the undying level. It was a pity that the efficiency rate was very, very low. Within Classroom 2, more absolute beginning members entered. There were already more than 100. While Luo Feng and Iku sat together and chatted, another golden-bearded dwarf walked over, smiling. Iku, this person beside you should be Luo Feng, right? Zajiwu? Iku glanced at him. The dwarf smiled at Luo Feng. How do you do? I'm Zajiwu, similar to Iku. I am in the Domain Lord level. I have heard of you before and I've always wanted to meet you. However, there hadn't been a chance until now. How do you do? Luo Feng smiled and waved. Luo Feng, Zajiwu, this punk is crafty, but he's still not bad. I've known him for over 1,000 years. Iku introduced. Luo Feng. Zajiwu rubbed his golden beard. Sitting beside them, he said softly, I heard that during your first time in Primal Chaos City, you passed 5 levels of the Heavenly Bridge in 30 years? Right. Luo Feng nodded. Powerful indeed, respect. Zajiwu nodded. Zijiwu, speak what's on your mind. Iku frowned. Zijiwu said softly, Luo Feng, I want to discuss something with you. Luo Feng frowned. I want to exchange for some things in the virtual universe treasure trove. However, I don't have enough points. Zajiwu shook his head. I hope, Luo Feng, you can help me exchange for them. And when that happens, I'll use cash to buy them from you. Depending on how many points you use, I'm willing to exchange 1 mixed element for every 5 points spent. If you use 1,000 points, I'll give you 200 mixed elements. Zijiwu said, you should know, this is a good deal. Ah! Luo Feng was shocked. Every 5 points he spent he would receive 1 mixed element? This price was not bad. According to the prices of the treasures within the trove, from what Luo Feng calculated, about 7 to 8 points equated to 1 mixed element. Go away. Iku pushed Zajiwu away. Get away, you bastard, actually trying to swindle my friend. It's not considered swindling. He passed 5 levels with a 10 times reward, that's 31k points, and he has no need for them now. Also, the price I offered him is quite high. Zajiwu said. Iku frowned and said, all right, with your little calculations, you think I wouldn't know? I will not stop you. But, I will speak directly to Luo Feng about this and explain certain things to him. If he then still wishes to deal with you, I won't bother with your deals anymore. What's going on? Luo Feng was curious. Speak. Zajiwu seemed unhappy, almost like a gangster. Luo Feng. Iku said softly, right now when you exchange for items you'll discover 1 mixed element equates to about 7 or 8 points, right? Luo Feng nodded. But let me tell you, the things within the treasure trove can only use points. Core members under the Undying level, they can only rely on the Heavenly Bridge, Fantasy Ocean, Undying Altar and taking on missions to acquire points. The points are extremely valuable. Iku emphasized, of course, you still think, as long as you have money, you can buy these treasures in the real world, right? Luo Feng couldn't help but nod. Right. With enough money, he could buy any treasure within the auctions. You are wrong. Iku shook his head. The auctions are separated into basic, mid and high level. Universe country auctions are all basic level and the lowest requirement is a 3-star client. The high-level auctions, however, require at least a 5-star client. Simply preparing for it requires many years. Hence it takes very long before a high-level auction occurs. And within these auctions, you won't necessarily get what you want. However, the treasure trove is different. Everything you need is available there. A few high-level items are rarely seen even in the high-level auctions, because the 5 major powers do not wish to circulate these extremely rare items. Iku said, however, all these items are usually available in the treasure trove. The further you get, the more obvious the importance of the treasure trove becomes. However, exchanging for items in the treasure trove relies solely on points. Iku sighed, and the points are hard to acquire. Anyone under Undying level cannot use money to exchange for points. And after becoming Undying, only then can one use money to exchange for points. The rule for Undyings of the Virtual Universe Company is 1 mixed element for 1 point. Luo Feng was shocked. I've said what I needed to, you make your own choices. Iku said. Iku is right. Beside, the gold-bearded dwarf nodded. A few rare items can't be bought at all outside. Hence the points are extremely valuable. However, Luo Feng, you are currently only universe level, the things you need can be bought outside as well. You have no need to waste your points. If you help me buy them, I'll give you cash, 5 points for 1 mixed element. It's very worth it. Luo Feng laughed. Iku watched as Zhao Jiwu left unwillingly. Laughing, Luo Feng, I was worried you'd agree. I was never going to deal with him. Luo Feng smiled. What a joke. Simply buying the 3 books of the time-space scribbles required 100,000 points. He was still worrying about how to get points. Why would he help someone else buy things using his points? That's right, you are considered powerful. First time in Primal Chaos City and completing 5 levels, one has to know the 10x reward is only for the first time. Iku shook his head. The 31,000 points you have with the initial 10,000 award. It may seem like points are easy to acquire, but you'll see later on. Luo Feng listened intently. Iku was after all a domain lord. His accumulated experience was much more. I have an assisting metal life form, Kale. Iku shook his head. This life form can form armor, form weapons, and even fuse with a ship. It's an excellent helping hand. In order to nurture this Kale and make it evolve to Domain Lord was easy. However, to Sector Lord level, the materials required alone cost 86,000 points. I can only look at it and let my head ache. And after reaching Sector Lord level, the amount to be spent on Kale alone would get even more shocking. As for it to become an Undying, I don't even dare to imagine the number of points required for the materials now. Luo Feng thought. Iku had the metal life form. He himself had the plant life form Cloud Contact Vine. Right now it was already Domain Lord level 2. Back when it was breaking through from Universe level 9 to Domain Lord, it cost him 1 life fruit. Babata, the Cloud Contact Vine's breakthrough and evolution to Sector Lord, how many points do I have to spend? And the breakthrough to Undying? Luo Feng asked. According to the process of how the Yun Mo Master nurtured his Cloud Contact Vine from Domain Lord level 9 to Sector Lord, it requires many treasures and combinations. So, That would amount to about 120,000 points. As for Sector Lord Level 9 to Undying, this is the hardest breakthrough. Humans breaking through to Undying is already unbelievable. To help the Cloud contact Vine, according to how much he spent back then, it would require about 6.2 million mixed elements, plus luck. After all, to actually break through the shackles of life itself to become undying, there's no 100% guarantee.